Morning students. In previous class we have completed the physical properties, electronic configuration, atomic and ionic radii and ionization enthalpy of group 17 elements. Okay. Now we will continue with electron gain enthalpy. Halogens have maximum negative electron gain enthalpy in the corresponding periods. Maximum negative electron gain enthalpy is nothing but at the time of introduction of electron into the outermost shell of halogens, more amount of energy will be released. The definition of electron gain enthalpy is the energy released when one electron is added to the neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron gain enthalpy. These are the smallest elements in the respective periods. So automatically these elements have high electron gain enthalpy values. This is due to the fact that the atoms of these elements have only one electron less than stable noble gas configurations. Electron gain enthalpy of the elements of the group becomes less negative down the group, meaning down the group electron gain enthalpy value decreases. Top to bottom, electron gain enthalpy decreases. However, the negative electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less than that of chlorine. It is due to small size of fluorine atom. Now actually, top to bottom, if it is decreased, what is the order to be followed? Fluorine is greater than chlorine, chlorine is greater than bromine, bromine is greater than iodine. This is the order should be followed. But practically, the order is fluorine is less than chlorine, chlorine is greater than bromine, bromine is greater than iodine. So finally, which element is coming into elevation? Chlorine. Chlorine has the highest electron gain enthalpy. Chlorine has the highest electron gain enthalpy value. The reason for this one, they gave simply due to small size of fluorine atom only. Because of small size of fluorine atom they told. But perfect reason for this also I will send one video to you, ma. Okay, that one also it is related to 11th class periodic classification only. Once just watch that one, you will get clarity. Okay, now see here. However, the negative electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less than that of chlorine. It is due to small size of fluorine atom. As a result, there are strong inter-electronic repulsions in the relatively small 2p orbitals of fluorine, and thus the incoming electron does not experience much attraction. Okay. Final conclusion is this group has highest electron gain enthalpy, and in this group also top to bottom it should be decreased, but chlorine has high electron gain enthalpy when compared to fluorine. That is about the explanation related to electron gain enthalpy. Next, electronegativity. Electronegativity and electronaffinity are same like that only, but this is the property when they are involved in bond. This is also increased with decrease in size. So they have very high electronegativity. All of you know that fluorine is the highest electronegative atom. They have very high electronegativity. The electronegativity decreases down the group. Fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table. Fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table. Chlorine is the highest electron affinity value containing element. And cesium is the electropositive element, highest electropositive element. Okay, this is the information about electronegativity. Top to bottom electronegativity decreases. Left to right electronegativity increases. Because of that, fluorine is the element which has highest electronegativity. Okay, ma. Next, 7.18.7 physical properties. This is there from here. Only extra I discussed with you ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy and electronegativity. Okay, next physical properties. Halogens display smooth variations in their physical properties. Fluorine and chlorine are gases. Bromine is a liquid and iodine is a solid. Top to bottom intermolecular attractions increases. First two elements are existed in the form of gases, fluorine and chlorine. Bromine is a liquid and iodine is a solid. Their melting and boiling point steadily increase with atomic number. All halogens are colored. This is due to absorption of radiations in visible region, which results in the excitation of outermost electrons to higher energy level. By absorbing different quanta of radiations, they display different colors. All are colored gases. Okay. For example, F2 has yellow color, Cl2 greenish yellow color, Br2 red color, and I2 violet color. Fluorine and chlorine react with water. Bromine and iodine are only sparingly soluble in water. Bromine and iodine are sparingly soluble in water, means lightly. They are soluble in water, but are soluble in various organic solvents such as chloroform, carbon tetrachloride. Chloroform formula CHCl3, carbon tetrachloride formula CCl4. Carbon disulfide and hydrocarbons to give colored solutions. Okay. One curious anomaly we notice from table 7.8. Now we will study what about this table 7.8. Smaller enthalpy of dissociation of F2. That one I will discuss. See here. Atomic number. Coming to this tabular column, atomic numbers 9, 17, 35, 53, 85. Atomic mass. Fluorine 19, chlorine 35.5 approximately, bromine 79.9, iodine 126.9 approximately, we can take it as 127, astatine 210. Configurations they give. See 2s to 2p5, 3s to 3p5, 4s to 4p5, 5s to 5p5, 6s to 6p5. But they mentioned d orbitals and f orbitals also. Next, covalent radius. Top to bottom, what happened to radius? Increases. 64, 99, 114, 133. This one was not given. Radioactive element, that's why. Ionic radius also increases. 133, 184, 196, 220. Ionization enthalpy. Already we told that this group has highest ionization enthalpy values, but top to bottom ionization enthalpy decreases. 1680, 1256, 1142, 1008. These are in kilojoules per mole. Previously radius are in picometers. Electron gain enthalpy minus 333, minus 349, minus 325, minus 296. Electronegativity, Pauling scale 4, 3.2, 3.0, 2.7, 2.2. Decreases. Top to bottom electronegativity decreases. See, hydration energy 515, very high hydration energy, fluorine, so it is highly somewhat soluble in water. Chlorine 381, when hydration energy is high they can be soluble in water. Bromine 347, this is 305. Melting points increases top to bottom, that's why iodine is solid, fluorine is the gas and chlorine is also gas. Boiling points also increases down the group. 84.9, 239.0, 332.5, 458.2. Next, density 1.5, 1.66, 3.9, 4.94 increases. Distance 143, 199. Bond length, this distance is nothing but excess bond length. F2, between F and F, what is the bond length? 143, very less. These are small atoms. Next, chlorine 199, Cl and Cl bond length is 199. Bromine and bromine bond length is 228. Iodine and iodine bond length is 266. Top to bottom bond length increases. Bond dissociation enthalpy values we have to observe. Actually, when top to bottom bond length increases, bond dissociation energy decreases. Okay, let us see this one, this point here. Top to bottom, what happened to bond length? Bond length increases because fluorine atoms are smaller. What is meant by bond length? Distance between the nucleus after the involvement of bond. This is called bond length. This is called bond length. Chlorine somewhat bigger. So what happened to bond length? See, increases. Bromine little bit more bigger. Furthermore, bond length increases. Like that, iodine. When bond length increases, attraction between nucleus and bond pair decreases. We can break the bond easily. So that is called bond dissociation enthalpy. That is called bond dissociation enthalpy. Actually, top to bottom, what happened to bond dissociation enthalpy? Decreases. Because this bond can be broken easily. This bond can be broken easily because it is present in big atoms. Bond dissociation enthalpy decreases. So, what is the order to be followed? F2 molecule is greater than Cl2 molecule. Cl2 molecule is greater than Br2 molecule. Br2 molecule is greater than I2 molecule. But exceptionally, F2 has lower bond dissociation enthalpy than chlorine, Cl2. Bond dissociation enthalpy of fluorine is 158.8 kilojoules per mole. Chlorine is 242.6, 192.8. This is 151.1. This is only showing some exceptional case. Remaining are okay, decreased only. Chlorine is greater than bromine, bromine is greater than iodine. But fluorine is less than chlorine. So the order to be followed is F2 is less than Cl2, Cl2 is greater than Br2, Br2 is greater than I2. Finally, according to the values, what is the order? Chlorine is the highest. Chlorine has highest bond dissociation enthalpy, means chlorine bonds cannot be broken down easily. Greater than bromine, greater than fluorine, greater than iodine. This is the bond dissociation enthalpy values order in halogens. See, even fluorine has less bond dissociation enthalpy when compared to bromine also. Bromine 192.8, fluorine 158.8. So here it is remained. That's why fluorine is highly reactive. If they have low bond dissociation enthalpy, they are highly reactive. Now, what is the reason behind this one? That is the important point. Okay, see here, in fluorine, the atoms are very small. This is the bond pair. Definitely, bond length is less, attraction is very strong. So, the bond has high bond dissociation enthalpy only. But the problem is here with lone pairs. F atom has 3 lone pairs. This F atom has also 3 lone pairs. These lone pairs are very near each other because of very small size of fluorine. Because of very small size of fluorine, these lone pairs are very much nearer to each other. Because of that, repulsions will be increased. Between lone pair of electrons, repulsions are increased. Even though this bond is strong, because of these repulsions, the bond can be broken down easily. It can be broken down easily. Suppose two familiar persons are there. Very familiar. This is one person and this is one person. Both are friends only. Their friendship is very strong. See, like this. The bond is very strong here. Like that, their friendship is also very strong. Okay. But in the public, if they want to meet and talk with each other, they are surrounded by bouncers. Because they are very familiar persons, na? So they are surrounded by bouncers. Those bouncers are not allowing them to be very strong. In public I am talking. Please understand, for a comparison only I am telling this one. Okay, don't ask that in private, sorry, in homes how they will meet each other, no problem, all those things I am not telling here. For your understanding purpose I am telling that these fluorines are very small atoms. Because of very small atoms, lone pairs are present closely with each other. Then even though this bond is strong bond, these lone pairs are getting repelled with each other. When the repulsions are high, even though the bond is strong, the bond is going to be broken easily. By giving less amount of energy itself, the bond can be broken down easily because of repulsions between the lone pairs. Now coming to chlorine, in chlorine, slightly the atom size increases, definitely. The attraction between these two bond is there, na? This bond is slightly weaker than fluorine bond only. This bond is slightly weaker than fluorine bond, but lone pairs are little bit free with each other. They are present in the outermost shell. Okay, somewhat freely present because they are present in big shells, na? So repulsions between the lone pairs lowered. Then the bond strength only dominating the repulsions. Here this bond strength is dominating repulsions. Here repulsions are dominating bond strength. In F2 molecule, repulsions are dominating bond strength. Here in chlorine, bond strength is only dominating repulsions. That's why this bond strength is high. Chlorine has higher bond strength. Then bond dissociation enthalpy is also high. When bond strength is high, we need very high amount of energy to break the bond. Is it correct or not? When the bond strength is high, we need very high amount of energy to break the bond. That is leading to chlorine 242.6. Next bromine 192.8. That's why. This is the reason, ma. Okay. F2 has lower bond dissociation enthalpy than chlorine. This is the reason. Now let us see the explanation in textbook what they give. Fluorine and chlorine react with water. Bromine and iodine are only sparingly soluble in water but are soluble in various organic solvents. Okay. One curious anomaly we notice from table 7.8 is the smaller enthalpy of dissociation of F2 compared to that of chlorine, whereas excess bond dissociation enthalpies from chlorine onwards show the expected trend. Cl2 is greater than Br2, Br2 is greater than I2. That is showing according to our expectation only. A reason for this anomaly is the relatively large electron repulsion among the lone pairs. Relatively large electron repulsions among the lone pairs in F2 molecule, where they are much closer to each other than in case of Cl2. This is the condition. These lone pairs are very much nearer here when compared to chlorine. That's why because of these repulsions the bond is going to be cleaved fast, easily. So it requires less amount of energy only to break the bond. This is the reason behind that one. Okay, ma. I hope you are clear about this one. Same like that, nitrogen single bond nitrogen and phosphorus single bond phosphorus. Actually this is strong bond when compared to phosphorus single bond phosphorus. But because of presence of lone pair, the bond can be cleaved easily. That's why NN single bond dissociation enthalpy is less than phosphorus single bond. Okay ma, like this here also fluorine and chlorine. Now physical properties 7.18.7, we have completed that one. Next we will go to 17.18.8, that is chemical properties. Okay ma, these chemical properties same like previous groups we will follow. After that 7.19 only. Chlorine. Only chlorine compounds we are going to study, and 7.22. Okay, I will explain at the time of explanation is going on. Before that, we have completed up to physical properties now. 7.18.7 was completed now. Next we will start with chemical properties. Let us see them. These chemical properties explanations are also same like previous group's explanation only. Same electronic configuration, depending on that chemical reactivity, oxidation states. Okay. What about the reactions, anomalous behavior of fluorine, all these things like them we will continue. Easy only. Now let us see what about these chemical properties. Under these chemical properties, first one is oxidation states and trends in chemical reactivity. All the halogens exhibit -1 oxidation state. However, chlorine, bromine and iodine exhibit +1, +3, +5 and +7 oxidation states, also as explained below. See, they have given electronic configurations of everything and how they are going to get these oxidation states also we are going to see. See here, this is general halogen atom configuration in ground state other than fluorine because fluorine has no d orbitals. That is the exceptional behavior of fluorine. Very small size, it has only 2 shells. In second shell, d orbitals will not be there. So this is the general representation of halogen atom in ground state other than fluorine. Ns has 2 electrons, Np has 5 electrons, no d electron. This is unpaired electron. By using this one unpaired electron, it will show oxidation number 1, that is +1 or -1. See, one unpaired electron accounts for -1 or +1 oxidation state. One unpaired electron accounts for -1 or +1 oxidation state. If it is reacted with high electronegative atom, it will show +1 oxidation state by using this unpaired electron. Observe the number of unpaired electrons. In covalent bonds, we have seen that only unpaired electrons will be involved in bonds. Okay, so here one unpaired electron is there. Then it can be involved in one bond. So it will show -1 or +1 oxidation state. Next, coming to this one. This one of the electrons will be excited to here. This electron is excited to here. Then it has 1, 2, 3 unpaired electrons. By using these 3 unpaired electrons, they will show +3 oxidation state. 3 unpaired electrons account for +3 oxidation states. That is first excited state. Next, coming to second excited state. Even this electron also will be excited to this one. First this electron is excited. Next this electron is also excited. Then it has 5 unpaired electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 unpaired electrons are there. 5 unpaired electrons account for +5 oxidation state. Five unpaired electrons account for +5 oxidation state. Next one. This is printing mistake. Here it has only 2 electrons. Sorry, no electron also. Only 1 electron. This electron is also excited to here. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. 7 electrons are there. 7 unpaired electrons. 7 unpaired electrons account for plus 7 oxygen state. 7 unpaired electrons account for plus 7 oxidation state. Is it okay, ma? Now, for example, IF7. Let us consider this molecule IF7. In this, which is high electronegative? Fluorine, when compared to iodine. So obviously iodine will show plus oxygen state and fluorine will show minus oxygen state. Every time fluorine will show minus 1 ma. Let the oxidation number of iodine is x. X plus 7 into minus 1 is equal to 0. X minus 7 is equal to 0. X is equal to plus 7. In this, iodine is showing plus 7 oxygen state. Now, by using electronic configuration, how we are going to explain? Iodine outermost shell electronic configuration is fluorine 2 outermost shell, chlorine 3, bromine 4, iodine 5. Outermost shell is 5s2 5p5. And even 5d electrons are also there. 5d orbitals, empty orbitals, 5s 1 orbital, 5p 3 orbitals, 5d 1 2 3 4 5 orbitals, empty orbitals. Now 5s contains 2 electrons, 5p5 1 2 3 4 5 electrons are there. Okay, now iodine should form how many bonds? This is molecule IF7. Iodine should form 7 bonds. Is it correct? To form 7 bonds, how many unpaired electrons must be required? 7 unpaired electrons must be required. So what is going to be happen? This one electron, and this one electron. Totally they are undergoing 3 electrons to higher energy states. That is called third excited state. I am going to write. Third excited state electronic configuration is, for iodine is 5s1 5p3 5d3. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. With this, one fluorine atom is bonded with this one fluorine atom. This one will undergo hybridization, sp3d3 ma. Directly it won't undergo fluorine atoms, it will undergo hybridization sp3d3. Okay. sp3d3 means how many orbitals are involved? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we will get 7 orbitals. So with that 7 orbitals, 7 fluorines will be bonded. Is it okay, ma? Iodine will undergo sp3d3 hybridization and it will form 7 orbitals, ma. With that 7 orbitals, 7 fluorines will be bonded to form IF7 molecule. This is third excited state. In third excited state, iodine has 7 unpaired electrons. Like that, with second excited state, 5 unpaired electrons will be there. For example, BrFi is there. Okay, ma? BrFi is there. Bromine outermost electronic configuration is 4s2 4p5. 4d is also there. Four d empty orbitals are there. Okay, now with how many fluorines it should be bonded? 5 fluorines. Then it should contain 5 unpaired electrons. This one unpaired electron will be excited here. This one unpaired electron, this paired electron, this one electron excited into this orbital. This one also excited into this orbital. Then that is called second excited state. Second excited state configuration. 4s2 remain like that only. 4p3, 4d, 2. Now it has 5 unpaired electrons. It will undergo sp3 d2. It will undergo sp3 d2, in which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 orbitals have unpaired electrons. By using that 5 orbitals, it will form bonds with 5 fluorines to form BrF5. After that, one lone pair is remained. So BrF5 has 5 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. Like that, we will discuss the bondings here. So how many unpaired electrons are there? According to that number of oxidation states will be exhibited. Okay, so general oxidation numbers of these group elements, they can show -1, +1, +3, +5, +7. These are the oxidation states shown by 17th group elements. This is first excited state. This is ground state, normal. By using normal configuration, it has only one unpaired electron. So one unpaired electron accounts for -1 or +1 oxidation state. First excited state. First excited state contains 1, 2, 3 unpaired electrons. Okay, ma? So accounts 3 unpaired electrons account for +3 oxidation states. 5 unpaired electrons account for +5 oxidation state in second excited state. In third excited state, 7 unpaired electrons are there, account for +7 oxidation state. Is it okay, all of you? I hope you are clear, ma, about this oxidation states -1, +1, +3, +5, +7. These are the oxidation states shown by 17th group elements. Next, the higher oxidation states of chlorine, bromine and iodine are realized mainly when the halogens are in combination with the small and highly electronegative fluorine and oxygen atoms. Okay, when they will get plus oxidation state? When an element combines with high electronegative atom, they will get plus oxidation state. When an element combines with high electronegative atom, generally high electronegativity is contained by small atoms only, those are fluorine and oxygen. So plus oxidation state of these other halogens, because of they are combining with high electronegative and small atoms, those are oxygen or fluorine. See, the higher oxidation states of chlorine, bromine and iodine are realized mainly when the halogens are in combination with the small and highly electronegative fluorine and oxygen atoms. Example, in interhalogens. Interhalogens are nothing but between the halogens itself, the compounds are formed. IF7. Iodine is the halogen, fluorine is also halogen. Now only I discussed with you. IF7. Iodine is the halogen, fluorine is also halogen. Between halogens, if they are able to form bonds, compounds, those compounds are called interhalogen compounds. Is it okay, ma? Those compounds are called interhalogen compounds. The higher oxidation states of chlorine, bromine and iodine are realized mainly when the halogens are in combination with the small and highly electronegative fluorine and oxygen atoms. Example, in interhalogens, oxides and oxoacids. The oxidation states of plus 4 and plus 6 occur in oxides and oxoacids of chlorine and bromine. The fluorine atom has no d orbitals in its valence shell and therefore cannot expand its octet. Being the most electronegative, it exhibits only -1 oxygen state. Fluorine will exhibit only one oxygen state, that is -1, and one more 0. In F2 molecule, its oxygen state is 0, and in any other combined state, fluorine will show -1 oxidation number only. There is no chance of fluorine to show plus or any other oxidation number. Okay. All the halogens are highly reactive. They react with metals and nonmetals to form halides. The reactivity of the halogens decreases down the group. Fluorine is highly reactive because of low bond dissociation enthalpy. F2 molecule, the molecule which has high bond dissociation enthalpy, that bond cannot be broken easily. Those are less reactive. Okay, the molecule with low bond dissociation enthalpy, in which the bonds can be broken down easily and they will be involved in reactions easily. See, all the halogens are highly reactive. They react with metals and nonmetals to form halides. The reactivity of the halogens decreases down the group. The ready acceptance of an electron is the reason for the strong oxidizing nature of halogens. Ready acceptance of electrons means they will undergo reduction. And they will oxidize others. Gaining of electrons is called reduction. Okay, they will undergo reduction and they will oxidize others. See, the ready acceptance of an electron is the reason for the strong oxidizing nature. Means they can gain the electron easily and they will undergo reduction easily and they will oxidize others easily. They have high oxidizing nature. The substance which can gain the electron easily is best oxidizing agent. That best oxidizing agent has higher oxidizing nature of halogens. F2 is the strongest oxidizing halogen and it oxidizes other halide ions in solutions or even in the solid phase. In general, a halogen oxidizes halide ions of higher atomic number. Okay, for example, see here. F2 oxidizes any other halogen 2x minus to form 2F minus plus X2. This X might be chlorine, bromine, iodine or iodine. Okay, ba? So if you take example F2 plus 2Br minus, it will form 2F minus plus Br2. F2 plus 2I minus to form 2F minus plus I2. Fluorine can oxidize chlorine, bromine, iodine. Chlorine can oxidize bromine and iodine. Cl2 plus 2Br minus gives rise to 2Cl minus plus Br2. In case of chlorine, it can oxidize bromine and iodine. In case of fluorine, it can oxidize chlorine, bromine, iodine. In case of bromine, it can oxidize only iodine. So, fluorine can oxidize chlorine, bromine, iodine. Fluorine can oxidize chlorine, bromine, iodine. Chlorine can oxidize bromine and iodine only. Bromine can oxidize only iodine. Bromine can oxidize only iodine. Is it okay, ma? See now. F2 plus 2x minus gives rise to 2F minus plus X2, where X is nothing but chlorine, bromine or iodine. Chlorine reacts with 2x minus to form 2Cl minus plus X2, where X is bromine or iodine. In case of chlorine, that X is only bromine or iodine. In case of bromine, that is only iodine. So directly they wrote 2I minus here, 2Br minus plus I2. Okay, ma? The decreasing oxidizing ability of the halogens in aqueous solution down the group is evident from their standard electrode potentials, which are dependent on the parameters indicated below. Half X2 undergoes dissociation to form X atoms. X atoms will gain one electron to form X minus. This X minus is surrounded by water molecules, that is hydration energy. See, this is called dissociation energy. This is called electron gain enthalpy. This is called hydration energy to form X minus. The relative oxidizing power of halogens can further be illustrated by the reactions with water. Fluorine oxidizes water to oxygen, whereas chlorine and bromine react with water to form corresponding hydrohalic and hypohalous acids. The reaction of iodine with water is non-spontaneous. Top to bottom reactivity decreases. Iodine is reacted with water, that is non-spontaneous. Easily it cannot be happened. In fact, I minus can be oxidized by oxygen in acidic medium. Just the reverse of the reaction observed with fluorine. Okay, these are the reactions with water. F2 plus H2O gives rise to 4H plus 4Y minus 4F minus. X2 plus H2O gives rise to HX plus HYX. 4I minus plus 4H plus 4O2 gives rise to 2I2 plus 2H2O. Note down these reactions enough. Okay, and regarding this one, I will discuss with you in next class. This is dissociation energy. This is electron gain enthalpy, and just I will write on the paper and I will explain. This is hydration energy. Okay, these are the chemical properties of halogens. Next we have to go through anomalous behavior of fluorine. This one we will go to in next class. Anomalous behavior of fluorine, their reactivity towards fluorine and halogen oxygen. After that, chlorine. Okay, maximum we are getting to the end of this chapter. Hardly one or two more classes we will complete this chapter now. I hope in today's class what are the topics I have explained for you, you understood very well. Okay, any sort of doubts I am ready to clarify. Don't hesitate to ask the doubts, Okay, this is all about today's class. Thank you all. Have a nice day.